Another season is upon us. Freshmen arrive wide-eyed with dreams of future glory, while seniors prepare for their last chance at immortality. There are only a handful of these opportunities in a man's life, a handful of chances to distinguish yourself from the rest. It's on these fields where history is made, where legends begin and heroes triumph. Traditions tell the story of what you represent, of those that forge the legacy you uphold. When you come charging out of the tunnel, 100,000 people will be watching your every move. How you respond to that pressure is what defines you. These are the moments that reveal your toughness, your determination, and your pride. The Roughnecks on the Sooner Schooner. Ralphie charging out of the gate. And Chief Osceola planting his spear. The time has come. Your time is now. Another season.
So even though in many parts of the country right now, we are experiencing colds like have never been experienced before, that still doesn't mean that we are absolutely cold on this college football coverage, because hot off the press, you guys have burning questions. And as a man of the people, here tonight, alongside my co-host, Colton from O&O Sports, as well as my right-hand man, Reed Napper. We're here tonight to answer your burning questions as we embrawl ourselves in one of the first days of February, gentlemen, already a month through the year. And welcome to College Football Red Zone, your exclusive home for 7+ hours of commercial-free college football during Saturdays in the fall. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Excellent. I'm in a beautiful sunny beach environment, and it's, y'all might be cold. I'm doing just fine.
Yeah, it's a balmy 19 degrees here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So, I wish I was with Colton. I wish I was on that peninsula.
Yeah. You know what? I wish I was on that peninsula as well. At least find myself a little bit closer to the like the Colton After Dark show, evidently. But we have a great show here tonight, answering your guys' burning questions that, as a man of the people, alongside my co-host, we're definitely going to come out here and answer here tonight. But for first and foremost, regardless of where you're watching, whether you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, wherever it is, appreciate you guys coming through and watching the show. And with that being said, gentlemen, you guys ready to jump into this mailbag to see what the people have for us here tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into it. The burning questions that you had. We picked 3 questions here tonight that we're going to answer. But with all that being said, just because we didn't get to it this time around does not mean we're not going to answer it in the future. So if you have any questions for a mailbag for future shows, make sure you go ahead, drop that off in the live chat or in the comments if you are watching this after the fact. But with that being said, gentlemen, you guys ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. Yes, sir. So first question that we have here tonight goes from More College Football. What More College Football asks is, what college football venues have you been to, and what are the top 3 that you would like to get to? So, Colton, as part of that After Dark special, you're warmest out of all of us. You want to kick us off and get started, my guy?
Yeah. As for ones that I've been to, 2 of the most elite environments in the South, you've got Clemson Memorial Stadium. And then you've got an underrated venue in the SEC, Williams-Brice Stadium. 2 of the best stadiums in the country, in my opinion. But I've also been to the beautiful Lincoln Memorial Stadium in Nebraska, probably the largest stadium in just, square footage. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you which is bigger actually, but 3 really great environments. I'm trying to think. Technically, I've been to Nissan Stadium, haven't been to Vanderbilt. College football stadiums. I think that's it for college football stadiums. But 3 I would love to get to, obviously. The Big House. That's one. The Rose Bowl. Preferably for a Rose Bowl game and not for a UCLA game because, it's probably a lot better for the former. And then I would say probably Neyland, but it would depend on the game. I mean, obviously Neyland's a great environment by itself, but if you get to go to Neyland for Alabama, 3rd Saturday in October, that's a big one. That is a huge one that I would want to go to for sure. So if we're just doing 3, off the top of my head, those are the biggest 3 that I would want to go to that I have not been to.
Yeah, because I know that there's been a really big push from certain aspects of college football media. I know you mentioned about like the Rose Bowl Stadium, not just for like UCLA games. Would you be a proponent of? I've seen the national championship game being moved to the Rose Bowl every year. Would you be supporter of that, or what's on your mind, my guy?
Oh yeah, I mean that's one of the best stadiums in the sport. And if you're talking, I understand wanting to have bigger capacities, so you're putting them in these giant NFL stadiums. I get it. But, I mean, it's college. I would prefer if every playoff game was on a home field. I understand bowl environment. They have to lock in the New Year's Six with everything. But Rose Bowl, it's one of the best. It might be the best.
To piggyback off that, Josh Pate has said this numerous times in his like reformatted calendar structure. He would put the national championship on New Year's Day every year at the Rose Bowl. Can you imagine one of the greatest national championships of all time, USC and Texas, was the Rose Bowl, Vince Young? Like, what are we talking about? It should be at the Rose Bowl every year. I completely back that. Let's start the petition now, Colton. Let's make up the petition. We'll get it started. It will go viral at some point because who doesn't love the Rose Bowl?
I don't have paper. I don't have paper around me.
No, you make a digital one.
Petition.org. Okay. I'm drafting that. You can go ahead, Jake. You can go ahead. I'll draft that up.
Listen, Colton, if you need paper, I'll send you a carrier pigeon. We'll get it going. All right. Oh man. For me though, like in terms of like some of the places that I've been to, so I'm more of an up north guy myself. So like a few places that stand out to me. So I've like been to, of course, like the Horseshoe at Ohio State. I remember vividly watching Tate Martell go off against Rutgers after Ohio State has already begun the splattering on Rutgers, and I thought to myself, at least like the young college version of me, thinking to myself, hey. Tate Martell, he's going to be the next big thing. That, in retrospect, probably one of the worst sports Tates that I had, but I do remember that specific game, watching like Ohio State and Rutgers with some of my best friends who ended up like being in my wedding. And then another stadium that I went to that I think is a little bit of an underrated venue. I've been to Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati. Shout out to the Cincinnati Bearcats. One of the core memories that I have as a college football fan, and this was when both my older sister and my younger brother, they were in the Cincinnati marching band during this time. So they hosted the American Conference Championship game. I remember it being a packed house. Houston couldn't really like sell their allotment, so they gave their remaining allotment over to the UC fan base, and we sold out in an instant. So it was like a 90-10 split at Nippert Stadium. And then after that game was over, and this was a really good like Houston team as well, mind you. I think they ended up ranked in the top 25 to end the season. I remember there being a field storming. That was a team with like Desmond Ritter and Sauce Gardner and Jerome Ford. Just one of my favorite teams to generally watch over the course of the year, and saw them punch a tickets and playoff from there. I also remember going to I don't remember Navy Stadium off the top of my head, but going to like Navy's football stadium, going to the military pool to watch Cincinnati and Virginia Tech play. This was my like older sister's like freshman year. Very nice facilities at the Naval Academy, especially for football. Certainly not maybe one of the bigger stadiums that we have even in the G5 or in the G6 that we're starting to emerge into. But I mean, don't have a bad thing to say about Navy's football facility. It's extremely nice. Definitely recommend if you have an opportunity to go, definitely go. You probably want to go early in the season. It gets cold up there in Annapolis, Maryland. And then the last place that I remember off the top of my head, Autzen Stadium. I remember going to Autzen Stadium. Didn't go for a football game, but I do remember going for a tour around their facilities. When my wife and we went up to Eugene for the the track and field championships, here in the United States. This was a pre-qualifier for the Olympics, and we remember while waiting for some of the track events to start, we went over to Autzen Stadium, toured the facilities. Beautiful facility, world-class facility there in Eugene. And I mean, I can't think of any just an incredible place, and it's built on a hill too, which is you can get your workout in as well. Now, as for the free places that I would personally want to go to, so for me, I'm mixing between the traditions as well as meeting people, because you could have as big of a stadium as you want. You could have the most fascinating traditions that you want, but at the end of the day, college football is about the people. And I don't get much of a chance to talk about the G5, but I'm a G5 guy at heart. So a couple of places from the G5 that I would love to visit. More so maybe because of the people, like I said, the venue, UMass. UMass, maybe on the surface, maybe not the most enticing looking stadium. Maybe it looks like a slightly better version of Welcome Stadium here in Dayton, Ohio. But the people are absolutely incredible. I'm someone that doesn't usually get into beef with other fan bases, but the UMass fan base, genuinely one of the nicest fan bases that I've ever came across. Don't think I've ever had a terrible interaction with a UMass fan, and particularly shout out to the Cursive View. The Cursive View, not only a tremendous follow for UMass football, but probably one of the best follows in the the entirety of the G5 and G6. They do incredible work over there. So definitely, I just love interacting with people at the end of the day. So UMass is up there for me. Campbell Fetter just mentioned it, and I was about to get there myself. Kennesaw State, one of the smallest stadiums in the FBS. Actually, it is the smallest stadium in the FBS, but at the same time, Kennesaw is on the rise, man. They just won the Conference USA title in their second year. They were very close prior to the bowl game to entering my top 25. They were in my poll of teams. So, I'm also a really big fan of the sidelines Kennesaw State account. Really cool people down there in Kennesaw Stadium. Just a group of people that I definitely want to go down and interact with. Particularly, they got some midweek Conference USA games, on a random Tuesday, Wednesday. Would love to make my way down. And then the other place, I'm very fascinated by Virginia Tech. I want to go primarily for the purpose of experiencing the Enter Sandman in Blacksburg, Virginia. I mean, that always takes my breath away every time I've seen that, and it just makes me hope that I really hope that Virginia Tech is good again sooner rather than later, because that stadium is rocking, even in the midst of Virginia Tech having one of their worst seasons in program history, and yet that fan base still shows up. So if I ever got a chance to see Enter Sandman, that's something I would love to do too.
I can say I haven't personally been to Virginia Tech, but I had a lot of friends from high school go to Virginia Tech. So obviously I've seen videos and stuff like that. It was crazy at Lane Stadium. For me personally, stadiums that I've been to, obviously Penn State, as a Penn State guy, been to numerous games at Beaver Stadium. Now West Shore home field at Beaver Stadium. I digress. Other ones, I've been to Navy Stadium, Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis. Very underrated stadium because the midshipmen know how to get down. Not party-wise, for a school. I'm just mean the environment that they give for a student section is unbelievable. And then the walk-on before the game of all the midshipmen is amazing. Definitely a great tradition. I've been to the Big House. I watched Penn State play the Big House against Michigan. We got rocked that game, but it was still an unbelievable experience. What else have I been to? I've been to the Army-Navy game a few times. one in Baltimore and one in, I want to say it was, DC, the Commander Stadium. So been to the Army Navy game. That's also, if you ever get the chance, highly recommend it. It's America's game. It just, you literally get chills before the game because of all the pageantry. They do the tradition where they trade cadets and midshipmen, because like 7 of them like do a semester at the other school, and then they trade before the game, and then the national anthem and everything like that, then the flyover. Like it's unbelievable. Highly recommend it if you get a chance to do that. For stadiums that I want to go to, totally up there with Colton and the Rose Bowl. I think just for the aura of it, if you have to put it that way, like just the Rose Bowl is insane. Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, specifically for a night game, arguably, some would say, the best environment in college football. Have to experience it for myself to really, prove that, what else would I put up there in my top 3? Probably one of the Western schools. So like Washington, you always hear that Washington's a great environment right there on the lake or river. I can't remember, but it's on the water. It's right there. So they do sailgating. They tailgate on boats. It looks awesome. I've
like
been.
Me.
Yeah.
I just got off a tailgate on a boat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, word. What game are you going to?
You cut out. What was that?
Definitely Washington's on my bucket list. I feel like an underrated one is, to me, Boise State. Boise State on the blue turf. And Jake loves that as a G5 guy. The blue turf. I gotta see this in person, man. Apparently they know how to tailgate too. So
another blue turf that I haven't been to, but I want to go to, Conway here in South Carolina, the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina. That's one that I do want to go to.
On the teal.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, not blue, but blue and green.
It's a shade of blue, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
And I also forgot to mention that I have been to Maryland. And if you have been to Maryland, Reed can probably attest. There's a reason I forgot about it. It's not a great environment.
Yeah, I don't even know how I completely forgot to mention that. I literally got field access there last year. So anyway, Maryland, the game day vibe was okay. They were hosting Washington. It's, think of rural DC, because it's not too far away from DC. It's basically a suburb of DC. So it's very built up around it. There's not much there was tailgating going on, but it's nothing insane and crazy. So Maryland was all right. Tiger Stadium at night, the Rose Bowl for sure, and then probably Boise State and Washington are up there for me. I want to go experience those Western schools for sure. And then also I feel like we don't talk about rivalry games, especially Oklahoma, Texas, Red River Shootout. That's insane because they split that stadium right down the middle. And I feel like that's an electric environment, especially a few years back when Oklahoma won it on the last play of the game. That would be insane.
If you're talking West Coast, Apple Cup.
Yes.
That's another big one.
But they play that in Seattle now.
They're right.
They got to do home and home. They got to go back to home and home.
Speaking of, they didn't schedule this year again, did they?
I don't think they were on Washington's schedule. I can't remember off the top of my head.
You know what? I should know this because I literally looked at every Power 4 schedule the other day. But no, so Washington State is on the schedule for Washington. Okay. It's is an opening matchup, but it is happening in Seattle.
It is
at least for this year.
Was it Oregon and Oregon State that are playing?
Yeah, it's Oregon and Oregon State because I'm looking at their 2027 schedule because, what else are we going to do, while we're waiting for football to come back. So Washington State, they're still doing a home and home, actually. So, that crisis averted, on that front.
Shout out.
Shout out the Apple
keep
Cup.
it
Great.
together. We gotta keep it's slipping. It's
Shout out
slipping
the
out of
Apple
our
Cup.
hands.
Great rivalry name, the Apple Cup.
The sport's slipping away from us. It's going corporate. We gotta keep it. We gotta keep the Apple Cup.
The game's
Apple
gone.
Cup.
The game's gone.
Yeah, it just goes to show just how many like incredible environments there are, because I know that there's some other things I haven't even got a chance to name. I think another like underrated one before I move on to the next question. UTEP, just the mountains backdrop for UTEP is absolutely incredible, especially like for the presentation of the Sun Bowl. BYU and Utah have to be up there too. So there's so many good environments. You know what? You know, when Moore said, you know, top three, I wish he would have mentioned a lot more than just top three.
Isn't UTEP Stadium like literally on the border to Mexico?
Yeah.
I mean, I know El Paso is, but literally the stadium is like right there. You walk 5 feet away and you're in Mexico. I don't know.
I mean, I know it's right on the border though.
Because I know El Paso is, but like stadium location wise, that'd be cool though.
10 steps south of the Alamo.
All right, so the Sun Bowl, like, so those mountains that are like in the backdrop, like if you cross those mountains, you are in Mexico, believe it or not. So
Another one, if we're talking scenic, and another one also in the Great Carolinas. Boone. What is the name of it? Is it? It's not Bobby Dodd, is it? That's a different one.
You're thinking of App State?
Yes. What is the name of their stadium though? I forget. Is it Bobby Dodd, or am I thinking of the wrong thing?
Kid Brewer Stadium.
Kid Brewer. That's what it is. What am I?
Bobby Dodd. Bobby Dodd is a stadium though. Bobby Dodd is Georgia Tech.
Close.
Yeah.
Close.
But yes, Kid Brewer. And I looked at tickets there last year, and it was like $300. And I was like, you see, I don't know if I would go there that bad.
At App State?
Yeah. Well, it's because I think they have limited seating, and like all of their good games, like Liberty is their big game every year. It's like
also because I went to a camp there actually. I went to a high school camp there. James Madison Stadium for a G5 team is unbelievable. It's not in the best location. It's right off the highway. I forget which highway it is, but it's literally right off the highway. But still, for a G5 team to have a stadium of that capacity, and they're about to undergo renovation to expand it. Like, props to JMU, bro. Like, they're on the come up for real.
Yeah, you know, it just goes to show with just a number of incredible environments and just environments in general. Like, we just might have to do a tier maker of all the FBS teams. You know, like in terms of like environments. You know, that might be something for a future show. We'll have to wait and see on that. We could probably go all night, but we have multiple questions that we still need to answer. But in the meantime, if you guys are enjoying the show and if you have something for the mailbag for future show, definitely leave it for us either in the live chat or in the like in the comments down below if you're watching this back. But man, like in the meantime, incredible show, incredible audience that we have.
Hold on, Jake.
Hold on.
Everyone that is watching right now, go to the College Football Redzone YouTube channel. This man is still 2 subscribers away. We haven't had a show since Thursday, and this man is still 2 subscribers away. Like, what are you doing? 2. Just go steal your mom or dad's phone, go to the YouTube channel, and hit subscribe for the guy. All right? He needs 2 more to 200. Yes.
Yeah. Appreciate that, Reed. With that being said, boys, this one, I didn't even directly see like in the mailbag, I don't think, but it was a question that I saw on Twitter, and I thought it was so fascinating. I definitely wanted to take some time to talk about it. So this was posed by College Football Zone earlier this week. And it was, if someone was brand new to college football, and you needed a team to like, and you had to recommend a good team that would be fun to follow, but not a team so good they'll be considered a bandwagon fan, who would you guys recommend? Ree, what say you? What's on your mind, big guy?
So kind of similar to me wanting to go experience their stadium in a game there. It's Boise State, at least for a G5 team. You'd have to think their recent success at the G5 level. They made the playoff 2 years ago with one of the best players in recent memory in college football, Ashton Genty, and just their historical relevance to the sport, at least in the last, 10, 15 years. They've been on the rise as a G5 team. They've dominated the G5 ranks for a handful of years now. I personally think that if you were a new fan of college football, just the interest to watch your team play a home game every week on a blue field, let alone just that by itself would pique my interest. So Boise State is definitely up there for me. Another G5 shout for me that I put down here, it's New Mexico. The Lobos of New Mexico have been on the rise the last 2 years, and I think they are definitely, right on the cusp of making a big jump in the G5. And also great color scheme. That cyan jersey they have is sick. So yes, great uniforms at that school. A big thing for me is uniforms. Like you have to be visually appealing. And yeah, that's your head football coach, by the way. That's your head football coach.
Very cool.
Yes, New Mexico's up there for me. Power 4 wise, I put down SMU. I didn't know what you guys would think about. Shit. Sorry.
You took one. You took one of mine. That was mine.
Yeah, SMU is on my here. I'll let you keep that one. Just let it.
No,
let it be.
You're good.
SMU is on my list solely because when they made the jump to the ACC, they competed in the conference championship in their first season. They won what they win last year? 10 games last year.
9.
And Rhett Lashley is one of the best up and coming coaches in the sport. So as long as he is there at SMU, they have great resources, an underrated stadium because Josh Pate went there last year and did a whole behind the scenes there. Underrated environment there at SMU. Also, I'm going to stay in the state of Texas because they've also been on the rise, especially with their fan base making a lot of noise. Texas Tech is on my board. I know they're kind of teetering on just being so
status.
Yeah, they're on the edge of being just so dominant in the Big 12. But I think if you catch them right now, this year is probably your last chance. Joey McGuire is building something special down there in Lubbock, and I think if you were a new fan starting this season, Texas Tech is probably the last team that I would suggest to you. So Boise State, SMU, New Mexico, and who was the last one I said?
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. Yeah.
All right. So for me, I mean, I have a G5 option and a power conference option myself. So I really struggled with this one because there's just so many good choices, right? Like that, and it goes back to me generally with the exception of a few fan bases. I'm cool with a lot of people. But the two that I settled on, the one that I settled on for the G5, I went with UTSA over in the G5. And so, first of all, I think there is an underrated head coach, and not Rhett Lashley, Jeff Traylor. Very good head coach. He's essentially been in charge of that program since they existed as an entity, because the UTSA football program hasn't been around for very long. And I've had the opportunity to watch UTSA play a handful of times over the years, and they're not the best team. They haven't won the American. There was a couple of times when they were in CUSA that they honestly had the talent to win in the Conference USA, win that conference title, but just couldn't get it done. But they were always an incredibly fun team to watch, very offensive oriented. I'm if a sickness is my weakness, offense is certainly that. The colors are pretty cool. I love the blue and orange that UTSA wears. And for me as well, UTSA is just a type of team where you don't know what you're going to get. You're either going to see them blow out a team, or, if they're going to go out and lay a complete egg. So you truly never know what you're going to get. And it's quintessentially what college football is, the chaos of the regular season. So UTSA was a big one for me. Over on the power conference side of things, this program has been down for the last couple of years, and it's been ruined by some unfortunate events that happened a few years ago back when in the 14 playoff. I actually went with Florida State. Florida State's been down the last couple of years, but for me, not even thinking about the my personal favorite schools, but listening to the the war chant of Florida State, I get chills every single time. It's something that I personally listen to, even outside of college football season. I won't even sit back and deny that. So just because of the war chant itself, I think it's such a cool thing that they do over there that, Florida State has to be a big one for me in terms of the power conference teams as well.
For me, I'm going to start with this one. We talked about them earlier. Not a great atmosphere. When I came up with my list, I thought of a few things: atmosphere, fan base, obviously team quality, and location in general. Because who wouldn't want to just visit the city or the town of the team they like? So since you talked about the war chant, I'm going to start with Kennesaw State. And you might be wondering how these things connect. But Kennesaw State is in a great location. They have a great head coach who seems to be leading them probably as one of the best teams in all of the group of five in the coming years. And they're in the greater Atlanta area. And if you want to do the war chant and you don't have to cheer for garbage Florida State, you can just hit a Braves game, and they do that there too. So that's the first one. The second one, I would say, really, you could go with any kind of middle of the pack SEC team, because it's still an SEC atmosphere. You're still getting that quality game day experience pretty much anywhere you go. South Carolina, I would say Tennessee is definitely upper tier. And that's a team that, if you're talking about investing as an actual fan of the team, definitely they're going to be up there every year. And they have a huge fan base. So you can be like, my cousin, his grandma's uncle went to Tennessee. So that's why I'm a fan. So you can come up with, they got fans all over the world, huge fan base. So there's no problem there. And they're just good enough to where, there's a chance they could do something every year. Really, any middle of the road SEC team. If you're talking up and comers, Auburn. You've got teams like Oklahoma State, who have been down for a very long time, but have that kind of sleeping giant vibe to them, while also being, Stillwater isn't like a crazy cool town, but still great fan base. From what I can tell, I don't interact with a lot of Oklahoma State, so I couldn't say for certain. It might be terrible. Who knows? In the ACC, I did go with SMU, so you took that one from me, Reed, and I'm not going to forgive you for that. But there's other teams. Louisville is a great school. It's got a great head coach. They seem like a team in the ACC every year. Probably not the team. Kind of bridesmaid bride type of scenario. Pitt. Reed's favorite team, the Pittsburgh. What just happened? Panthers.
Yeah,
I thought
good.
Steelers.
It's a good thing you don't remember their mascot. They can't even fill up their own stadium.
That's neither here nor there. They're a solid football team under Narduzzi. I thought Steelers, and I immediately knew that was wrong. And then I defaulted. I thought hockey, Florida Panthers. You know what? Never mind.
Get out of that warm weather, bro.
Yeah, it's the heat. I gotta get inside. Yeah, the biggest one, Missouri. You've got Vanderbilt, who's up and coming. Vanderbilt's kind of, if you like them now, did you like them 2 years ago? Probably not. So it's harder to get away with that one. But there's plenty of SEC teams that are in great atmospheres. Missouri is one I wanted to highlight. Columbia, Missouri on game day. Good atmosphere. Obviously not the top end, but still, you're still getting that middle of the pack. So those are some of the ones I thought of. Now just scrolling through some of them. What are some other ones that I didn't think about? Clemson, but they're a two-time national champion. Nobody really likes Clemson unless you're from the state. So that's kind of harder to get away with if you live in Montana and you're a Clemson fan. there's Duke, but that's a kind of same scenario. Just teams that are improving, that have solid fan bases, like in Indiana 2 years ago. They have these good fan bases that really just don't have anything to cheer for yet. What's up, Reed?
One we didn't bring up at all, and I thought one of us were going to say them. Arizona State. Arizona State.
I thought you said that.
No, I didn't. I sent it in our group chat, but I didn't.
Well, I would have stole that from you. You should have texted me, like, steal this one.
Sorry. Arizona State is definitely up there. Up and coming coach, up and coming program in general, because they were pretty mediocre before Dillingham got there. Great area in Tempe. Great. The fan base has grown to like into Dillingham too. So they're definitely on the rise for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Colton, I know you touched up on like Oklahoma State, and it's going to be very fascinating to see how Oklahoma State's going to be this year, because I know a lot of their core guys are going to be from North Texas, and while they definitely lit it up, North Texas last year, one of the few teams that didn't even play a single power conference team over the course of the whole year. So I'm actually very curious to see like how that group adjusts to what's going to be a higher like overall level of competition like moving forward as they like get ready for the 2026 campaign, along with like Eric Morris too, who's making his debut year like coaching.
Also, Reed talked about him earlier. LSU, if there's ever time to get in, it's now, because they used to be pretty good. Right now, they're probably about to get into that next level. So if you want,
or Bama, I feel like Bama's in that case.
I feel like Bama's just a hands off. Like, you have to wait 15 years to see if they suck, and then you can be a fan of Alabama, or else you're just like, dude, no. Alabama was one of those. They have a bandwagon fan base that believes they will win it every year. They kind of remind me of another team who kind of thinks they'll do it every year, but they don't. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, definitely a lot of like interesting teams to follow, and really like appreciate like everyone sitting down and like watching with us tonight. Whether you're watching on Twitter, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, really appreciate everyone like sitting down and spending your Monday night with us here, man. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. With that being said,
no way. Did it happen?
Time out. Refresh, Jake.
Huh?
You did it. You did it, my friend.
No
you did it while we were alive.
He did it. You did it. Let's go.
Oh,
let's go.
Oh, we got 200. Let's go. We love to see it.
Woo!
Yeah, it's a very good feeling to hit this milestone. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get on tonight since we haven't been feeling like the best today, but very glad that I did, and appreciate being able to talk ball with you guys. We do have one more question here tonight, and I definitely want to hop into it. I need to step away afterwards, but these two will definitely keep you company for this final question. So the final question that I have is, would love to hear why everyone is so passionate about college football, and basically what chose them to push to be in college football media.
Colton?
Oh, I'm leading off.
Yeah,
I'm leading off. Well, I've always liked college football. I feel like that's true for all of us. We wouldn't be here if we didn't like college football. It's been one of my passions. I would say it was my first love. My girlfriend would take offense to that, but it's really what's been there for me through thick and thin, and mostly thick. No, that doesn't sound right. Through the ups and the downs, mostly downs. That's the correct way to say that. It's just been, one of my favorite things for my whole life. And then when I was in college, we had to do our final senior project. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to try this whole thing out because I'm a communication major in the media realm. And they were like, yeah, go for that. Film a couple episodes of a podcast. It started off as like an hour-long, no video podcast that I turned into kind of like a pseudo YouTube podcast, this and that type of thing with all of my channels at O&O Sports. You see it right there. follow, subscribe on everything, as well as this guy right here. And Jake, he just hit 200. That's huge. That's huge. We love to see that.
Sir.
But
Yes, sir.
that's what got me into it. That's been a couple years ago now. And really it's just the passion. It's just the passion of, I want to make something. I used to watch, or I still watch Josh Pate, but I used to watch him heavily in college. Klatt, these types of guys, JD Piquel, they're some of my favorite guys. And it's good to have community with dudes that care as much about something that you do. So I figured, why not give it a shot? I feel like my opinion's good. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes it's arguable, but I feel like I know what I'm talking about. And I try to, yeah. Thank you, Reed. So do you.
Thank
But
you.
just trying to figure out ways to get ahead of the curve. I built a robot, quote unquote. It's not AI. It is all actual statistic based that has been somewhat successful. That's just the type of guy I am. I love spreadsheets, so I fill out a ton of spreadsheets and input a lot of things. Excel, shout out Excel. I wouldn't be here today without Excel. That just
shout out to Todd. Shout out to Todd. Shout out to Todd.
I mean, he's still with us. He's just in hibernation, deep hibernation for the next 8 months.
Have to turn the AI off.
I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could be in a deep hibernation for the next 8 months without college football too. So I would consider him lucky. But that's kind of my story. That's kind of how I got here.
For sure. I mean, for me personally, it was one because I played college football. Now it was D3. It's nothing on the level of the college football we talk about here. But just the passion from playing the sport for one, and what really, sparked my interest in wanting to, pursue talking about it and make a podcast and, produce content about it was in the middle of the 2024 season. I can't remember which week, but it was in the middle of the 2024 season, and I started listening to Josh Pate. Now I knew of him from like Twitter clips and Instagram clips, stuff like that, but I never like actually watched his show. But I started watching his show like every week, every time he had a live show, I was watching it. So, and I thought, we have these conversations with our friends sitting on the couch every Saturday watching college football. Like that was me in college, at least when I got the chance. Saturday nights, we're sitting on the couch, having a few brews and watching college football, like just chatting it up with your friends. So that's what really sparked my interest once I started watching Pate. And it's actually funny that we got this question tonight because as of today is my 1 year anniversary since starting to make content. So I think I've done pretty well for myself.
Milestones.
I think I've done night. For sure. I think I've done pretty well for myself in 1 year of producing content about college football. So I think just the spark of, kind of saying F it, really, like what makes me I can do this. It's exactly like you. Like you have an opinion. I have an opinion. We might align on the same opinion. We might disagree. Like what's wrong with producing content about that and having civil discourse about it, for something that we truly love, for the best game, the best sport on the face of the planet. So yeah, I think a lot of it stems from one, my playing days and just being in love with football in general. But two, there's so much more going on in college football than say the NFL. Like there is always something to talk about in college football. Whereas the NFL, as of next Monday, what are you going to talk about for 8 months? Like,
well, if you travel on down to the Ono Sports Twitter account, I am working on my top 32 NFL draft big board. So there is that to talk about. But other than that, there's not a ton.
Yeah. So, other than, putting out way too early top 25s, top 50 players of the 2025 season, winners and losers of the schedule release. Like, we're just trying to, we're not filling up space. Yeah, we're not trying to fill up space. Like we're still diehards and interested and willing to talk about anything. But again, I feel like a lot of it stems from, at least me personally, those others that have trailblazed, this space of YouTube and podcasting and stuff like that, like Josh Pate, Klatt has a podcast. This man looks rough. This guy just went to war.
Yeah.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where like it's been a rough 12 hours, but the show goes on. We're still we're still hanging in there tough, built different.
Also, I don't know. I don't think I can throw stuff up, but Isaiah says, "What's up, fellas? What's up, Isaiah?
Hi, Isaiah.
My dude.
What's up?
How are you today?" What are your favorite venues that you've been to, Isaiah?
Shout out Isaiah.
Yeah.
Now we just have to wait for him to respond. We don't have to say anything.
Yeah. We're just gonna sit here. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and dim the lights over on my end as we patiently wait for his answer. No, but just going back to the original question of why wanted to do college football coverage. So for those of you that are a little bit more familiar with my content creation story. So this is not my first time doing YouTube. So I used to have a larger gaming channel called John Jet Gaming. We ended up massing a few thousand subs, met some great people during the the 3 to 4 years that I was doing content in that space. And then a really massive life event happened for me in real time. So the birth of my son was really changed a lot of things for me, right? So I remember being on paternity leave during that time. Was really stressing about making content for the channel as well as being the best dad that I can be. And I just looked myself in the mirror one day and I thought to myself, hey, this is not sustainable. I can't keep doing this. So I left content creation completely for a good 2 to 3 months. I stopped doing content completely so that I can just focus in on just being the best dad possible and then being the best supporter of my wife as possible, who she is the rock behind College Football Redzone. You won't see her most likely on the live streams unless she's coming by and saying something not related to the show. But she is absolutely 100% the reason why this show exists. College Football Redzone would not be here if I did not have her support. But I still had a creative itch that I still needed scratched. So I remember towards the back end of my paternity leave, what I ended up doing was I ended up just starting a page, just something as a hobby, just to give me something to do, some sort of identity that's not just, I'm the dad to my son, or I'm not just the the husband to my wife, right? I'm not some NPC just trying to get through the day to day, right? And then secondarily, I also looked around and there were multiple people calling for, man, it would be really awesome if we had a college version of NFL Redzone. But then I look around in our space and all the content that you see here, whether it's Twitter, whether it's on YouTube, or whether it's wherever you get your college football content, nobody was even trying to do that. And I thought to myself, well, why is that? Why is that the case? So, I looked in the mirror yet again, and I just asked myself one question: why not me? And so that's how College Football Redzone was born. We had a solid debut year, and and that was just with me, and having awesome guys like a Colden and like a Reed, coming into the fold as well. Is Saturdays in the fall are going to look the same here on the channel for those of you that were curious about that, but bringing these guys in and just talking ball over the course of the week, that's what's going to get enhanced. What you see here on Sunday through Friday, right? That's why I'm so excited, to have some awesome people. And we had another person that was going to come on tonight, but he had some things come up too. Hopefully you guys see him on the Thursday live show. But yeah, that was really my big reason. I was just looking to be different and be unique.
Amen,
Why not
brother.
us? Why not us?
Why not us?
Why not us? Exactly.
But with that being said, that does conclude the mailbag here tonight, and I really appreciate like everyone coming through for the for the live show tonight. Before we sign off, Reed, Colin, you guys have any final thoughts before we we sign off on this beautiful Monday night?
Reed, go first. Hold on.
Oh no.
Oh
no. Yeah, I mean, appreciate the questions. Make sure to send in questions in the comments of this video, on Twitter, any social media platform. We're on pretty much everything. So any questions you guys, want us to answer, anything college football, life, dad advice, shoot us anything. Yeah. Also stay tuned to my YouTube page, and I don't know about Colton, maybe. We are starting an NCAA Dynasty League. Some of us are going to be streaming it, so stay on the lookout for that. And yeah, appreciate it. Now what is this?
I just have one thing to say.
Oh boy.
No. Oh God.
Go Big Red.
Absolutely not.
Reed, where did you find this guy, bro?
Bro, hold on.
Oh, brother.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. We are.
What does that say?
How about that? It's state.
They printed it wrong. They printed it upside down.
No, they didn't. Shout out No Rivals. Not a sponsor, but
Yeah. Listen, I don't have any gear right in the vicinity, so I have to go and shout out the the Division 3 alma mater, Bluffton Beavers. Gotta get a Heartland Conference shout out here on the show. I'm always gonna go to bat to the college that not only gave me an opportunity to compete at the college level, but that was also where I met my wife. So I always gotta show them some love whenever I can. That's for sure. But
yo, Jake, we gotta ban Campbell from the chat, bro. I can't put up with this kid. I can't do it.
No, so you have to 1v1 him in EA college football, and if you win, we can ban him. But if not,
I got the sticks ready to go.
Yeah, if he wins, though, I'm going to mute you at the most inconvenient times possible.
Go ahead. The Wi-Fi is already shoddy as it is. So
see, look at that. I mean, Campbell. I like Campbell already. Bluffton over Penn State. Bluffton was around first. The endowment's a little bit smaller, but
I might have to switch up the Diet Coke can after the show. I'm not gonna lie. So, might have to go stronger.
All right. But all right, boys, this is your host, Jake of College Football Red Zone, joined by my co-hosts, Colton and Reed. Again, really appreciate you guys coming through and joining us here on a Monday night in the middle of this non-football playing season. I mean, seeing all you guys in here, that's just a testament that even though there isn't any games going on, college football can be talked about and the presence can be felt all year long. So with that, I'm Jake, your main host, alongside Reed and Colin. Hopefully you guys are all out there having a good night. Take care, everybody.
Go Big Red.
Go Big Red.